Hey there folks, watch this video, and as police here in the UK are being scrutinised and criticised for having broken up birthday parties with 10-year-olds, the FIA and Formula 1 are being scrutinised and criticised for banning party modes. It's something that's quite interesting. So, party mode is the term given to engines being turned up to 11 for qualifying and for qualifying only. So you have the fastest possible lap for like a single lap. And it's believed that Mercedes got some kind of advantage, which is why the term party mode really originally came from. But is that the reason why it's being banned? Is it just to rein in Mercedes? Well, I'd say it's not something I'm particularly a fan of. Not necessarily because of being any kind of Mercedes fan or anything like that. In fact, I think that Ferrari are going to be people who really suffer from it. But it's because this is a move to... I don't even really know. I don't know what it's trying to do. Like, Mercedes have got the best power unit, pretty much objectively, and that's been something that's very much the case in F1. And not just in the turbo hybrid era, that happened before. I mean, I'm just thinking over the course of the V8. Mercedes had the best power unit, but the Mercedes-powered cars weren't necessarily the best cars. I mean, we saw that with McLaren, for example. It would be one of the fastest ones in a straight line, but not necessarily the fastest overall. I mean, we saw that, like I said, in the pre-turbo hybrid years. But I think that's one of the things that really irks me about this. And they're bringing it in for Monza. They're bringing it in for the time that, you know, people really like to have a lot of engine power. So, it's a bit odd. They're bringing it in for Monza, where it's going to slow the cars down even more, and that effect's going to be even more pronounced. But at the same time, I'm a bit confused as to why they're trying to bring it in overall. Like, I could get the argument of, oh, we wanted to seem as close to race conditions as possible. Then get them to do it with a full fuel load, for example. You know, that's something that we used to see in F1. What was it? Back when we had refueling, they'd be qualifying on the amount of race fuel they were going to look at starting on. And I mean, I think when we had the odd qualifying system of aggregate times, they had, what, back 2005? One of those runs would be done whilst full of race fuel. I understand the idea of banning a party mode, but these are mappings that are typically available to the cars in regular race trim as well. It's just they're not ones that people tend to use in race trim because they could be really damaging in the long run. But at the same time, it can punish some teams where they're better qualifiers than they are racers. And I think that's another problem that I have with it too. This could go for drivers as well as for teams. Like we see it in terms of drivers with Lance Stroll. He has been notorious for not being good on a Saturday, but being the biggest climber on a Sunday. We see it where a driver and a team could be better at one day than another. And I know people are going to say, oh, it's the FIA being biased towards Ferrari. Like I said, I think Ferrari are going to be quite strongly affected as well. I think the biggest benefit for a team, I think the biggest beneficiary for it is going to be Renault. I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, they're the people who I believe have got one of the weakest power unit car combos out there. And that's saying something because, remember, I was talking about Ferrari. But, I mean, the Ferrari teams are going backwards this year and they are struggling. But party mode is just going to be kicking them while they're down. Party mode ban. Yeah, I don't really get what the FIA is trying to do with this, unless this is to be the first of many big swathing changes that come in to go, well, we're looking to balance the field and make sure that it's as accurate a representation of their Sunday pace as on their Saturday. But I think that just upsets how F1 has been. I don't know, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.